1st of August and they've taken all the scaffolding down from the lodges. I assume they haven't actually finished because you can see some of the lettering's white and some of it's in black, so presumably they've just got to go over this lettering. But the paint on both lodges is looking good. The actual flowers down the main drive are really coming into their own now. Just one mass of flowers all the way down the drive. Flowers on the War Memorial. All showing up very nicely. Wildflower beds, whatever you want to call it. Getting a few more colours now. The yellows are quite nice. Like sort of mini sunflowers showing up quite nicely. So the weeds, just attracting some of the bees. The old bowling green is looking good, but I can't remember last time I actually saw anybody playing bowls. I mean, it used to be a good team at one time, but just doesn't seem to be used anymore. Considering the expense of the hut. You want to do some bowling, get down. So we are getting vandals tagging or whatever they call it. Quite a selection of BM and KC and 9A. GA, BM again. It's obviously burnt on. Just in this greeny slime, the ducks are actually walking on the top. So the feet are not actually getting in the water, so whether they're on like a brick or something, but no, they're actually walking on the top of it. More hens come out to play. The baby there is getting quite big. Almost as big as the adult. The old plants by the side of the lake have really gone to town this time. 5-6 foot high in places. It's great for the wildlife. They can go and hide in there, and it does restrict your view of the park a bit. We did mention last month the big branch that was hanging down here. Since then they've chopped it all off because it was here and on the floor, wasn't it? Perhaps they do listen to the YouTube channel. At long last on Burma Island, all the lavender has got flowers on it, and there's bees everywhere you look, which is good. Not very cooperative in being filmed, but there's hundreds and hundreds of bees, wasps, and other insects. Quite what's happened here. Somebody with big clodhoppers or something knocked it all down. But the bees don't seem to care. It is a lovely smell. That's big bees. Squirrels out in force. This looks like a baby one. Might be a baby one, but he knows about food because he's come down especially to see if I've got any food. Have food. Okay, I'm begging you for food. Birds come for a bath again. Never seem to see these finches anywhere else in the park apart from here. All they ever seem to do is come and have a bath. And fly off when you don't want them to. So the blackbird's coming down now for a bath. Something I've never done anything with is this quagmire by the waterfall. It's really smelly, covered in, and yucky. It really does want some warning signs, because if you've got kids and they suddenly run into that, it's not pleasant. If you don't know the park, you can soon go knee deep. Just looking at the top field near the bandstand, being the 1st of August, it won't be that long before autumn sets in. Tree right over there that's sort of showing signs already. It's a wonderful time for photographers, because a boring shot, when it changes the colour, something magnificent. Some of these squirrels are insane. You hide behind a tree to get a good shot of them, and you see you and come over to you and demand food. Best side. Of August, and we can see now that we said last week they'd only done some of the lettering, so all the lettering on the lodge, both sides, has all been done with white lettering. Must be a bit of a fiddly job that. Flowers down the main drive are all doing well, with no problems watering this week, has there? It's absolutely thrown it down. That's made it a bit easier for the gardeners. Some nice colour, well, white, next to the calf, all in full flower. All the rain's got rid of all the green mucky stuff, and it's really torrents. If I can see past there, it's like a river in full flow. You can see it gushing off the side there. Since they cleaned, it's all now still going under the park. The moor ends at the same spot. Quite interesting, because there's a baby moor end. Swing round. There's another one. Big difference in the size. They all seem to sort of hang around this spot round here. Well, there's been lots of babies. Wonder what's going on here, because there's a load of eggshells by the inlet. Quite how they've got there. And there's a lot of rats around here, whether they've got them from somewhere and had a feast, but it's a bit of a strange place to see eggs. Very early signs of autumn. At the top of this tree you can see the autumn colour just starting, and this is always traditionally the first tree in Crewe to show signs of autumn. Well, these other trees are just barely sort of starting to show signs, so it won't be long before we have autumn. Mr. Robin out at the bottom again. He looks a bit bedraggled. Come out again, the old Robin, to see if there's any food. He's joined by a young squirrel that thinks I've got food for him. Really are brave, because no doubt he's coming to see if you've got any food. She sits still. The old barnacle gooseback on the lake. He's been around for donkey's years. Or sheep, we don't know which. They're not supposed to come sort of south of Scotland. This one keeps appearing. The old ace is still showing well, and the other trees are starting to show signs of winter. And what's quite amusing is these signs 5 miles an hour. So if you're walking in the park, don't walk quicker than 5 miles an hour. Quite why they're there, I don't know. Carry Walk and the bench should be there, and it's now over there. So most of these are sort of bolted down, but somebody's decided it looks better where it is. I've just seen our friend the young squirrel. Whether you'll spot me and head over this way thinking I've got food. The green slimy stuff had gone from Tip Ginder side, but still large amounts of it here. I thought there'd been a bit of a gush with all the water that we've had. The whole stream just covered in it. Yeah, well, waterfalls are a total mystery because sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And ever since they fixed it, it's never worked properly. And when it does run, like a little drizzle. Hello? You want food? Just interesting to see these climbing plants. One side has really gone to town and made it all the way to the top, whereas the other side is barely alive. The old squirrel can't make his mind up. Climbing plants on the other pagodas, or whatever you want to call them, just nothing. Not survived at all. Why that one's gone right to the top and not the others? Just looking at the wild meadow, whatever they want to call it, that's got lots of tall grass. Yellow weed, very little else. I thought the idea was they're actually going to plant wild flowers more than just abandoned it. It's a wonderful excuse for the council though. Oh, it's for the wildlife. Oh, that'll save us a big job, that will. But if they'd just put some wild flowers in and really gone to town, it'd have cost them a couple of quid. Real squirrels are out in force today. There's one there going up the tree. There's one coming to see me here. There's two more. He's having a scratch. They do get tame and, you know, think humans have got food. Looks like a child's play area, the amount of, they're not very old, these. Of August, and we can see now that we said last week they'd only done some of the lettering, so all the lettering on the lodge, both sides, has all been done white lettering. Must be a bit of a fiddly job that. The flowers down the main drive are certainly at the best at the moment. Won't be long before they have to be ripped up and the spring bedding put in. We can't enjoy it at the moment. Down by the sluice gates, the green algae's turned to, I don't know what you'd call it really, but it doesn't look very nice. Just swing round, the boats have got all new boats. Some smaller ones. We've still got the big swan ones, but they've got some smaller ones as well. There's a new plaque on Burma Island, that's what the parade was about. Also, of course, to remember all those that gave their lives. It's a question if there's anybody that fought in Burma is actually left now. Thought we'd take a look at the coats of arms on the gate that hundreds of people walk in and never ever look at them. I've got the little one, little steam train. Another thing often missed is this bell on the lodge. Years ago they used to ring that when they were about to close the park, and that was the warning you got. Long since redundant. 22nd of August, and the flower beds at the moment, because we've had a lot of rain, are really standing out. It's just a question now of when they will have to dig them all up and put the others in. The rain's really made a difference. Flower bed by the lodge has suddenly come alive with all these lovely flowers. After the rain, all the flowers have gone mad. This is by Princess Diana's memorial. It's just gone mad. We've had such a dry spell, and now we've had the rain. Boy, have we had some rain. Everything's just coming out magnificently. Again, the bowling green, everything's, all the geraniums have suddenly gone mad. So it's a good time of year, and any time soon we'll start getting autumn colours. A rare sight on a Sunday morning when there's no kids on the play area. But we're just looking at the spider thingy, what's it, whatever you want to call it. It got taken down, or all the climbing took down, and never got replaced. Not more dangerous ones about in the borough. I'm glad to say old Dobbin's still going. This was from the original. He always had the name Dobbin. A fair few years old. Well, this is a major disaster. This is one heck of a branch come down and crushed all the play area. So imagine if children were under it. And this again is down to lack of maintenance by the council. There's still other trees with dead branches knocking about. Well, this one's a real corker, so how much damage it's done. We can see on the actual tree at the top bit there, it's totally rotten where the branch has been. So how long it'll take them to clear this lot. Of course the parks staff can't do it, they have to have tree surgeons in. course all the kids will be wanting the conkers. Anyone want any mushrooms? Seem to be doing very well in the park. Anybody wants to go foraging? Just highlighting that tree that came down. Here's another really great branch. And if you look on this tree you can see clearly there's a lot of branches dead. And even them coming down on your head. And swinging round there's another one there. It's just totally lack of maintenance. All that's dead, you can see. It's supposed to have been inspected last week. Well, suggest they come back and have another go. Still on the subject of trees, and this one was in the Chronicle about 3 or 4 years ago. Totally dead. It's right next to the path by the golf course where the children go to school. Yet they've never ever done anything with it. Their excuse is, well, it's good for the wildlife. Might be better for the wildlife if you chopped it down and left it to rot. But how dangerous is that? It's a fair old height. In the same area there's another tree. Look at the dead branches on this. And if they've inspected, well, God help them. Because if heavy enough that comes down on your noggin, you're going to know about it.
He wouldn't be able to catch one even if he tried. Okay, for you.
Coronation Walk, and nice weed or wildflower, depending on what you want to call it. Only small, but they do stand out quite well. Round the other side, back on the tree, the dead branches on this one. And this one, there's some really big dead branches, certainly enough to kill anybody if they come down. Well, they can say they've inspected it. And we highlighted this earlier in the year and done nothing. That massive branch there is totally dead. And that's on the public road. Anybody visiting the park is going to park under there. It's going to have a bit of life in a couple of the smaller branches, but the majority of it's dead. Another young squirrel, and he's coming round to see me. Just better slow down.